I wanted to show two ways of creating drop caps in InDesign. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my text tool and create a column of text filled with placeholder text. So this could be a stand-in for any of the type that you have that you're working with for layout. And in InDesign, there is a really nice, simple way of creating drop caps. Now I'm going to go to the paragraph style section, still with my type tool, and here in the middle is the area where we can work with some basic concepts. And I'm just going to start using, so I'm hovering over here. This is the drop cap number of lines. I've increased that to 4. So we can see that first letter is becoming large and it's dropping 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of text. So we can go ahead and increase that as needed. This second option below has a little A plus, so we can choose how many characters we drop down. Maybe we want the first word, which is kind of looking a little silly with all of those lines. And so this piece of this word has 7 letters, so we'll go ahead and modify that with 7. And so that is one way we can easily choose and create a drop cap, and I can highlight that, and if I wanted to change that one word to a different typeface, I certainly could do that. And that doesn't change the number of lines, nor does it change the number of characters. All right, if we wanted to go ahead and change that, we'd go back over to the paragraph style, and our cursor does not have to be in that word. It can still be in that paragraph. But of course, if what we don't see here is we don't see our hidden characters. So I'm going to go type show hidden characters because we really can't see our paragraph returns. So I can see here with my cursor, when it's in this first paragraph, I can see this paragraph return. If I were to put my cursor in this second paragraph, and here, because we just did fill with placeholder text, we didn't define any tabs, any first line indent, or any spacing between the paragraphs. So we can do that for every paragraph if we wanted to drop cap. That's a little bit much to put a drop cap in every paragraph. Typically it's for, if you're laying out a book design, it's going to be for that first paragraph right after the chapter title, or if there is a break in a section, sometimes that would be appropriate too. But having our hidden characters turned on helps us differentiate a little bit before we have any other character styles in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of those options, and I'm gonna also use my eyedropper tool, highlighting that first word and making it the same, using that eyedropper tool to make it the same. Hey, and that does not want to pick up that same typeface, does it? Let's try that one more time. I am double clicking on that word using my eyedropper, and there we go. It was just picking up a funny formatting. So one other way to do a drop cap is by adding an image, and I am going to share with you the work of a great designer, not my email. Here is on this browser. So this is the website from Jessica Heish. In 2009, she developed a passion project, and so she illustrated a drop cap each day. So this is kind of fun, and these are all images, so you can use an image as a drop cap. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this or save the image. I'm going to just save it to my desktop. And so you can create your own images for drop caps, or you can find images for drop caps. This, I want to fully state, this is useful for Jessica Hischia's pieces are for personal non-commercial use, but there are going to be other illustrations out there that you can use for commercial projects. So just one of those things to keep in mind, you know where these items are coming from. Back to InDesign. So I'm going to go ahead and File, Place, and I'm going to go ahead and find that file that I downloaded, and there it is, and placing it at the proper size on my desktop. There we go. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little, and I'm going to just make this guy a little smaller here, and I'm going to put it over top of my text. And that's sure not dropping down there at all, but what we need to do is we need to put a text wrap on this image. So with that highlighted, I'm going to go to Window, Text Wrap, Window, Text Wrap, and another dialog box comes up, and we can indicate that we want the text to wrap around the object. And so by doing that, I can see now, I'm going to hit W on my keyboard, and this is starting to wrap around that object. Now we have some funny spacing here. I am putting W back on so I can start to see the outlines here a little bit. I want to get this left edge lined up as best as possible visually, and I can see, you know, there's some of these little dots that are hanging out on the side, a little visual interest, and I'm going to do that with the same on the top here to just see where that starts to fit in a little bit more with alignment around the edge of that D. And again, I switch back and forth from the various views by using W to turn off the columns. And so we still have some funny spacing with this one line, and so we can edit all of the sides of the text wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and go with a minus amount on the bottom. Aha, but I have all of the settings same linked together here, and so if I were to undo what I did and make sure that that is unlinked, I can subtract that one bottom wrap section here, and that, unclicking to deselect, looks a lot better. It fits in there a lot better. Maybe I want this edge, because there's some dots coming out, little playful dots here. Maybe we want to expand that right edge, and that starts to give those a little bit more space, so we can individually edit how much text wrap, top, bottom, left, right, by using those options here. So again, that's highlighted, and we can see the negative and then the positive amount. And that is how to add an image drop cap. Have fun dropping your caps.